All right, you're doing 2016 Spectra football. We just got the little orange ones here. Nothing too crazy. Superfractor City. Oops. Hope so. I don't know what that means, but about to find out. Good luck, guys. Starting off for the Vikings, Stephon Diggs and Bridgewater. This is my last one, John. I just had the one last night and this one. DeMarcus Ayers for the Steelers. Is State of Hockey. Joe Hayden for the Browns. And Miggy. And a Doug Martin. I don't think there's much. Probably should have ordered some for next week, but because I don't think anything releases next week. I have no idea. Triple Threat is supposed to come out this week, but somebody's saying they didn't shrink wrap their boxes, so it got recalled. Danny Woodhead for the Chargers. There's DePaul. Devontae Adams. As Husker TB. CJ Procise. And State of Hockey. And a Russell Wilson. 4 out of 60. Oh, don't look. Sammy Watkins. As BKVG. Michael Thomas for the Saints. As State of Hockey. 34 out of 60. Jameis Winston jersey. For Zero Cool. And is Christian Hackenberg for the Jets. And PEF 87. He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be like a project QB, but I just remember before the draft, everybody talking about give him a couple years to learn. I think Petty they're giving up on. Nick Vannett for the Seahawks. As DePaul. Kevin White. As State of Hockey. Ezekiel Elliott. As Gamera. And Eli Manning. 23 out of 25. Things suck if you don't start right away. Yeah. Well, I remember Hackenberg, he was supposed to be big at Penn State. That's when, what's the Texan coach? Whenever he left Penn State, and Hackenberg kind of had a couple down years. Julius Thomas is going to the Jags, huh, Thomas? And G-Shock. Jordan Howard for the Bears. And State of Hockey. 11 out of 25. Alan Hearns and Allen Robinson for G-Shock. And Mike Thomas for the Rams. Malcolm Mitchell for the Patriots. Has Hit It Hard. Mariota for Hit It Hard. Yep. Devontae Adams for the Packers. And Husker TB. And Marcus Allen. Napkin City. Tyler Boyd as BKVG. Chris Moore for the Ravens, 4-color. As Pineda J. White and Langford for the Bears. And State of Hockey. And Stephon Diggs for the Vikings. I'd let you know who Chris Moore was, but there's like nothing on the back of the card. T.Y. Hilton for Findiz, 6 out of 15. Buck Allen for Pineda J. And Ezekiel Elliott for the Cowboys. That is Gamera. 29 out of 99. And a Mariota. Somebody's saying, like, I don't think it matters in Spectra. Spectra is like the most tops-like product where you can have just loaded up cases. Or really, really bad ones, like the one I did yesterday. Joey Bosa. Someone said there was 3 Wentz autos in one case they saw. As Gamera. Joey Bosa. And Endapal. One of them had 5 superfractors in it. Rod Smith for the Broncos. And Miggy. 9 out of 25 on Rod Smith. And Julio Jones. Daniel Lasco for the Saints. And State of Hockey. Tyler Lockett for Endapal. Laquan Treadwell for Nordy and the Vikings. And Carson Palmer, 5 out of 25. On Falcons? I'd be by the Falcons. Oh, you're talking about the Palmer? Kenyon Drake. And SB. Dante Moncrief. For Findiz. Got a Wendell Smallwood and Alan Hearns for the Jags. And excuse me, Wendell Smallwood patch auto. G-Shock on the Jags. Chase on the Eagles. So close. Looking for Ramsey. Orange auto, Derek Carr. That is DePaul and the Raiders, 3 out of 3. Allen Robinson. For G-Shock. Derrick Henry. Has hit it hard. And Chris Jones for the Chiefs. Cardinals to dive. Okay. Have a good night, Chad. Marshall Falk. Has DePaul. Devontae Booker. For Miggy and the Broncos. 17 out of 60. Paxton Lynch and Joey Bosa. Only true Cardinal fan. And Thurman Thomas for the Bills. Colin Kaepernick. For William, 57. 13 out of 35. Puzzlesny. For G-Shock. For the Dolphins, Ricky Williams. And SB Forever. And Eric Dickerson, 24 out of 99 on Williams. Ricky comes out a lot. TJ Yeldon. for G-Shock. Wendell Smallwood, 4-color for the Eagles. And Chase. Elliott and Henry. And Antonio Brown. For the Giants, Paul Perkins. That's PEF 87. Michael Thomas. For State of Hockey and the Saints. Devontae Adams. For Husker TB. And Mariota. If I blink it twice with the Rams. For the Bears, Jeremy Langford. This case is dead. Signatures, number 26. For the Vikings, Stephon Diggs. And Nordy, 22. Marquise Lee. And G-Shock. And Joe Namath. Antonio Brown. Is that who you're talking about, John? Yeah, Antonio Brown has autos. Jarrell Adams for the Giants. And PEF 87. Carlos Williams for the Bills. And BKVG. Sterling Shepard. And PEF 87. And Edgerrin James for the Colts. One dual auto per case. Yesterday we got Coleman and Boyd, I think. Jameis Winston. And Zero Cool. Paul Perkins. PEF 87. Christian Hackenberg for the Jets. And PEF 87. 33 out of 60. And Joe Flacco. Charles Mann for the Redskins. As Enda Paul. 17 out of 25. Carlos Hyde. As William 57. Derrick Henry. For Hit It Hard. And Fran Tarkenton as a Giant. 1 out of 60. Daniel Braverman for the Bears. And State of Hockey. Tim Tebow for the Broncos. And Miggy. And Owen Daniels out of 25 for the Broncos. This Ravens patch. The Broncos are Miggy. 25 out of 25. And Keenan Reynolds. Josh Doxson as Endapal. Moritz Boehringer for the Vikings. And Nordy, 22. $199 on that. Mark Ingram, Devontae Freeman. And a Jay Cutler for the Bears. 3 out of 10. Don't really know what Jay Cutler's doing right there. That's State of Hockey. Cut mode on Boehringer. He's on their practice squad. I think he's going to be a project. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to turn him into a tight end. Oh. Jay Cutler. And State of Hockey. T.Y. Hilton. For Findiz. It is Paul Perkins, Sterling Shepard. Dual auto for the Giants. And Pef, 87. That's 9 out of 10. And Amari Cooper out of 25. BGS 2, Amari Cooper now. Buck Allen. That's Pineda J. Kenyon Drake for the Dolphins. And SB Forever. Clay Matthews, Jay Cutler. And Sammy Watkins for the Bills. Think about the game. Carl Joseph. That's Endapal. Joe Flacco. For Pineda J. Braxton Miller for the Texans. And Kramer, BR. And a Jason Witten. Jordan Payton for the Browns. And Weller, 96. Amir Abdullah for Paul Nunez. Ezekiel Elliott for Gamera. And Gary Barnage for the Browns, 5 out of 10. Goff auto. Oop, don't look. Russell Wilson. As End of Paul. Got redemption too. TJ Yeldon. As G-Shock. TJ Yeldon for the Jags. The whole set, John. Is there Hearns? Or not a Robinson, I mean? That has G-Shock, 808. And it is aspiring patch autographs for Carter Lewis. I cannot talk, I'm tired. That is Weller and the Browns. Say the best buy was probably the Jags. What were they, 38 bucks? For the Broncos, DeMarcus Ware. And Miggy. The Jags. Devontae Freeman. That is the true 17. Corey Coleman. And Weller, 96. And Latavius Murray. Got to redeem myself, Brian. I'm focusing. Christian Hackenberg. That's both patch. As PEF 87. 8 out of 25. Signatures Neon Blue, Emmanuel Sanders. For Miggy and the Broncos. Jordan Cameron for the Dolphins. And SB forever. And Marcus Allen for the Chiefs. Robert Brooks for the Packers. And Husker TB. Melvin Gordon. For End of Paul. Corey Coleman. For Weller, 96. And Roethlisberger. 2 out of 99. Amari Cooper. That's End of Paul. Alex Collins. for and Paul. Braxton Miller for Kramer, BR. And Stafford Pink. That's Paul Nunez, 6 out of 10. Amir Abdullah for the Lions. And Paul, 10 out of 10. Jay Ajayi. SB Forever. Ezekiel Elliott for Gamera. And Gale Sayers for the Bears. All right. Had Amir Abdullah, Jay Ajayi, Elliott, Sayers, Cooper, Collins, Miller, Stafford, Brooks, Gordon, Corey Coleman, Roethlisberger, Hackenberg, Emmanuel Sanders, Jordan Cameron, Marcus Allen, DeMarcus Ware, Freeman, Coleman, Murray, Wilson, Yeldon, Lewis, Peyton, Amir Abdullah. Ezekiel Elliott, Barnage, Joseph, Flacco, Miller, Witten, Buck Allen, Kenyon Drake, Cutler and Matthews, Watkins, Yeldon, Smallwood, Henry and Elliott, Antonio Brown, Kaepernick, Puslesny, Ricky Williams, Dickerson, Falk, Booker, Thomas, Derek Carr out of 3, Robinson, Henry, Chris Jones, Kenyon Drake, Moncrief, Smallwood, Lasco, Lockett, Treadwell, Palmer, Bosa, Rod Smith, Julio Jones, T.Y. Hilton. Cutler, Hilton, Shepard and Perkins, Cooper, Doxson, Bowringer, Freeman and Ingram, Cutler, Braverman, Tebow, Daniels, Reynolds, Charles Mann, Carlos Hyde, who's that? Derrick Henry, Fran Tarkenton, Winston, Perkins, Hackenberg, Flacco, Adams, Carlos Williams, Sterling Shepard, Edgerrin James, Jeremy Langford, Stephon Diggs, Marquise Lee, Joe Namath, Paul Perkins, Thomas, Adams, Mariota, Buck Allen, Mariota, Boyd, Moore, White, and Langford, Stephon Diggs, Mitchell, Mariota, Adams, Marcus Allen, Julius Thomas, Jordan Howard, Hearns and Robinson, Thomas, Vanette, Kevin White, Elliott, Manning, Sammy Watkins, Michael Thomas, Winston, Woodhead, Devontae Adams, Procise, Wilson, Stephon Diggs and Bridgewater, Ayers, Hayden, Doug Martin, Christian Hackenberg, TJ Yeldon, Alan Hearns. And oops. Ezekiel Elliott. All right, let me get these randoms. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 randoms to do. Let me get them set up really quick. All right. Go 10 times on all these. Good luck. First one, Bears, Packers, Matthews and Cutler. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Going to the Bears. Cowboys, Titans, Henry and Elliott, dual jersey. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Going to the Cowboys. Saints and Falcons, Freeman and Ingram. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. Going to the Saints. And then last one, Broncos, Chargers, Bosa and Lynch. 8, 9, and 10. Going to the Broncos. All right, thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining. Thanks for getting that filled.